button. Welcome back to Demon Interviews, episode number 50. I am your host, Springy.
And I am your co-host, Dennis.
And as you can see, we have some very, very special guests on the show today. I know, we have no clue where they are right now.
I don't see them anywhere. I can't find them. You better go invite some other people here. More special people. They're not present. So we're from Random Encounters. I'm AJ.
I'm Gwen.
I'm Nate.
And we're super excited to be here.
Woo!
Yes.
We practice not being overly nonsensical, so we're good.
Yes.
So
because when we were practicing this, we were like doing it like I went like this.
yeah, they were like too serious, and they were like, okay,
we were like too serious, and I was just like
that's
this.
probably a good midline, which
I'd
is
say
what
you
this
nailed
is. Oh, golly. Okay, so Dennis, you have the first question.
All right. Give me a quick momento to ask the question.
Remember, it is the fun question, not the one on the list.
Yes, of course.
Oh, there's a
So
list of fun questions.
There's a list of not fun.
Oh, well, I mean, they are, but I mean, there's an extra fun one that's not on there.
Oh, okay.
So, very first question is, oh, isn't it supposed to be you that started us off, bro?
I can. I'm fine with doing that. So, the first question is going to be very, very difficult, very hard. Would you rather go on a hike or eat Cheetos?
I would rather go on a hike because I don't like Cheetos.
I'd rather eat Cheetos. Or eat Cheetos while on a hike.
Oh, okay.
That sounds like fun.
Outside the box.
Yeah.
Cheetos. They don't come in boxes.
No, they don't.
I'll
Yeah.
go. I don't like Cheetos either. So
Well, there you go.
Well, all the Cheetos are for me then.
Yes, you get all the Cheetos.
It's
Three
all
bags
there for him.
but I do like flat hikes, like none of this like going up a mountain thing.
Yeah, like the simple, like easy, like jogging on the like
Yeah.
flat road.
Yeah, I think
Correct.
a flat hike is a walk. I like going on a walk.
I say
Shh, we don't need to know
If it's outside, it counts.
that.
I
I like a hike where I'm in a car. That's my favorite kind of hike.
in a car. That's the best
Yeah,
kind right there.
All right. Next one is, what's your favorite holiday?
What's our favorite holiday?
Yes.
Favorite holiday.
I mean,
You go first. You go first.
Ladies first.
Awesome. Like I don't think you get better than Christmas.
You stole my idea.
I knew it was gonna be yours.
Yeah. I'll try to pick a different one.
I like
No,
Halloween. Halloween's the best holiday.
I'm gonna go with Labor Day. So-
Flag
All
Day.
about Labor Day.
All
Arbor
the
Day.
trees.
Yeah.
I'm supposed to wear white after it, so
After Arbor Day.
Arbor Day. Is that
Yeah.
Right.
Sure.
So, the next question is, so instead of what everybody else was doing at the time of when you first created your channel, you guys were what made you guys think of making musicals for video games?
Okay, that's a good question. It's pretty fair.
I mean, it sort of springboarded off the fact that shortly after college, we did a contest for Sega about Sonic's 19th birthday, I think it was at the time. He's much older now.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, it was like, show your love for Sonic or whatever, and we decided to do a musical based on it, and the cat's going to get in front of the camera.
My dude.
Um,
Trying to join
It's
you.
a cat.
But it was like we decided to make a musical, and obviously you can watch that on our channel now. It's Needle Mouse. It's the oldest thing there.
Mhm.
Singachu might be older on the Mr. Meow.
Yeah, I don't remember which of them
Um,
technically. I think Singachu got uploaded first.
But yeah, it sort of came from that. We did that, and then about a year later, right? It was a year after that. It was, the channel decided to get started, and you can probably elaborate on that more because I wasn't here anymore at that time.
Yeah.
I had moved back to New York.
I think like the real question is why did we even make a Sonic musical to start out with instead of just a whatever other video? And the reason for that was I already had some musical experience, so it was like a strength I knew I had that other people might not have. And B, I also knew that it was unusual, and so it felt like for us to make a musical number about Sonic would draw a lot more attention for people going, I have to click this whether or not I feel like it because it's a musical. Like, I need to know. Curiosity will get me, if not just genuine passion for Sonic or musicals. So that, and then we kind of got a letter C out of that because both of those were true and did work, but then that provoked a lot of attention on our musical, which made us go, we're successful now in this too. So it's not just a matter of standing out or, like having experience. Now it's like we also have a track record that proves this will do well if we continue to make more of these. So by that point, Nate had moved away. So I was working with Peter, and Peter and I decided to try one for Pikachu and start a channel kind of devoted to that to see how far it could go. And here it is, 8.5 years later and about 3 million subscribers. And it works. So I'm really glad that formula actually wasn't wrong. It just took a while to kind of, amp up.
Yeah. That's really awesome. So kind of a follow-up question to that. What made you think about doing like Pikachu as like one of the first ones uploaded on there? Instead of, I don't know, something like instead of Mario.
I was going to say, I wanted to see who you were going to throw out there for your like, oh, I'm going to try a musical about some other character. Like having done Sonic, a pretty natural progression.
We decided to wait and do him like 7 years in, 8 years in. That seems better.
Yeah, he got the shafted.
Makes sense.
Makes
there's a practical reason too. Mario, like if you're going to do a Mario series musical, there's a lot more like complicated stuff in the Mario universe. Mm-hmm. And like I say that, like I know Pokemon are literally pocket monsters. Like they're not simple. And yet, literally at the shopping mall, 5 miles away, there was a Pikachu onesie hanging up. And, I mentioned, I'm like, Pikachu onesie, it costs like $75 or $80 or whatever. I'm like, if we buy a Pikachu costume, I can run around town dressed as Pikachu and we can do a Pikachu song so easily. And he was like, that sounds easy enough. So it felt like it was like right, hanging in front of us, just waiting for me to go put it on and do a song with it. So that's the practical reason. I think we went for Pikachu, not like Mario.
Yeah. The exact same ones you would still have.
Yeah.
That was a good investment.
Yeah, we never changed it.
Wow.
Yep.
Oh yeah, like
one this whole time.
It's like always the same one. It's like every time you do like a Pikachu thing, it's just like, oh, where's the different Pikachu? Pikachu.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
All right.
That really is. Like I'm surprised it lasted this long.
Yeah. High quality. I can't recommend them enough.
Yes. So for next question, for musicals, like you guys did for like Five Nights at Freddy's and Pokemon, you guys do live action, and for musicals you did like Bendy and the Ink Machine and Pac-Man, and then you guys do claymation. What made you decide to do it?
To do like claymation musicals?
Insanity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like for Bendy, at least, it was people had already done some Bendy songs here and there, but they were all 2D animation, and we felt like Bendy fit really well with stop motion, claymation, animation.
Yeah, ink,
clay.
Yeah,
ink, clay, like yeah. Nobody had done it, and we're like, well, then we have to before somebody else does.
Yeah.
The one you guys did with Matt Pack, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. That's like
Pac-Man was actually, that's another of those like out of necessity kind of things. Yeah. We were supposed to start working on a Dead Space musical after our Ganondorf song. Mm-hmm. And Peter actually had to do an emergency room kind of visit and end up with surgery. So he was kind of bedridden right over the top of our schedule for doing Dead Space. And he was supposed to be, playing the main character in that one. So we needed a fill-in project. Which is really, it's so funny to look at, like, that's one of our first, like, super successful ones, and it was a fill-in project. But so in looking at what other options, we could kind of come up with that one person could basically do all of, I was like, Pac-Man could work. Like, it's not going to take a lot. The ghosts have very minimal, like, arms, legs, faces, things like that. I'm like, we could probably, if I just devote a lot of time to it, I can do a Pac-Man song for this month, and we'll pick up on Dead Space, 4 weeks from now when you've recovered more. So, Peter was able to help with some of the audio and recording stuff. But basically, I just kind of every night when I get home from work, set the clay guys back up again. And we just left the set for Pac-Man, together. And just, go at it for like 4 or 6 hours and hope that it was going to look good at the end.
Mm-hmm.
So
I think that's honestly what the medium is all about, is what gives us the best opportunity to tell the best story. And I was thinking even of Cuphead, which is not stop motion, it's 2D animation, but we did that, I think, mostly because there's no way we were going to get all those people in the same room at the same time. So it was a great opportunity to be able to, like, okay, we'll go record this person at this time and record this person at that time and end up getting a massive cast all in one production.
Can you imagine trying to do the costuming and like the effects for like somebody who turns into like a unicycle? Yeah, like a frog person eats another frog person, becomes like a slot machine. Oh, take that. If not with animation.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because your Five Nights at Freddy's videos have really like piqued everyone to really like it.
Mm-hmm.
Like with ones with Markiplier, and then ones with Sister Location, and then the recently new one you guys made really put a spark in my head.
That's awesome.
We love doing that.
Yeah, you'd think we'd be like exhausted from it by now, but honestly, there's always something new that we want to like tweak into the FNAF universe we've been doing. So
I think it's awesome that the game is always expanding and always adding new things into it. With, you know, I mean, he's coming out with books and games and everything he can around it. So there's so many like story elements that we can pick and choose through and pick our favorite ones and really just run with it. So that's been a lot of fun to be able to make our universe as expanding as his is.
Right.
That
could. Go ahead.
Awesome. Sorry.
And I also want to add one more thing. When I first saw your Five Nights at Freddy's videos on like Spotify, because I've been using Spotify for a while, I started singing the Five Nights at Freddy's songs as I'm like doing like my laundry or just like anything in my head. I'm like, wow, this is actually making sense in my head right now.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's awesome. You're not the only one. That happens to us too.
Yeah.
Like especially working on them 4 weeks before they come out, you get it pretty ingrained, and then you can't get rid of it.
Yeah.
So,
exactly.
Well, at least the good songs, right? I mean, hey.
Right.
I think so.
Yeah. There's also a follow-up question to the question I asked you. Which was harder to do?
Which was harder to do between
live action,
time, like live animation and time-wise?
I think universally we would say that live action is always easier than doing animation, with the exception of "Watch Out," which is the Navi song we came out with a year ago based on Zelda: Ocarina of Time, because that one we outsourced the animation. So that was really basically got to let somebody else slave away at it and churn out something awesome. And then we went, thanks a lot, here's some money. Anytime we have to do it ourselves, live action ends up easier. And Nate can tell you, I wanted to quit on Bendy so fast.
I mean, you can just Bendy took like 4 months, and like most live action musicals only take probably a day of filming. Like Plants vs. Zombies was like
Web of Lies was
2 days.
Web of Lies was 2 days, but that was mostly because of scheduling.
Yeah.
So
right.
Awesome.
Actually, we probably took like 3 or 4 days because now I'm thinking about we had
that's
like
true.
some really
we did the
big
puppets,
puppet
too.
shoots. We had puppet fight scenes.
Yeah, the puppet scenes. Yeah, especially
film days.
Especially with your blooper videos you've done with the Five Nights at Freddy's ones. It just makes me crack every time.
I love those. They're fun.
with the one who did Freddy, and he's like, "Hey, come on, we're gonna kill this fucker." Every time I hear that line, I would just like crack up laughing.
Yeah.
Xander has
Xander, right?
got some language, but it's funny. So it's like we can't we have to keep those in too.
Right.
That makes sense. So the next question that since we're on the track of Five Nights at Freddy's, I have this one in my brain. Why did you decide to make what people are calling Glitch Trap a full suit instead of just making him another puppet?
I think we wanted to make him as terrifying and deranged as possible, and also like allow him more movement than the puppets can have. Like obviously the puppets mostly stay behind a table. They're whatever range of motion they have table, and being able to actually have a character walk into the scene and be kind of aggressive with another character just allows him to be so much bigger of a bad guy, and we really wanted for him.
Yeah.
Yeah, like when I saw, the new character, like when the phone guy and the bang on the walls, I was like, wait, what's happening? Is there another puppet? No. Coming right in, busts in. This is like another thing. I'm like, oh, what? Just piqued my eyes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And we wanted that exact same impact for something like Glitch Trap, where like they bust in and you get a reaction.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also because we
yeah.
have Springy Trap as a puppet still in that in the newer ones. It felt like we needed to establish a big bad guy again, sort of like Matt at the end of the FNAF musical, which meant we needed to, have somebody that had the same capabilities as Matt. So I think that's what we want to draw that comparison, make sure we had another big bad guy like that and not another like Spring Trap kind of puppet that goes at you.
Big bad guy, literally and figuratively.
Or tries.
Figuratively. Yep. I believe it's your turn, my good man.
Sure. So, which one of your musicals was your favorite one to create?
We each have a different answer. My favorite usually goes back and forth between Senpai Noticed Me and Doki Doki Literature Club, just because those are both all-day shoots with really big casts, which I'm realizing is pretty much my favorite thing to do, is to have a whole bunch of people in the room all throwing ideas together and doing it all day long. And that's a great day for me. So both of them are fantastic, and both of them turned out fantastic. So there's that added bonus.
I'm going to say Resident Enos, which is funny because it was plagued by disaster like all the way through. But
yes,
I think that's also a testament to why I can say it's fun to work on, even though things went wrong literally every couple hours for the first 4 hours. It was so cool to work with Mark and Dodger. And when I say work with, it's like you would expect us to be doing a bunch of memorizing lines and keeping on a schedule. But what it felt like, in the moment on the day was just do a bunch of funny things, just put on silly stuff, just do absolutely ridiculous things nonstop over and over again. And they weren't hard things to do. They're things like, we're going to stab the pancakes with a fork. We're going to put our feet on the table and draw faces on them. They were the dumbest things, it's but they were easy to do. So it was a really easy shoot in some ways. And we got to enjoy just hanging out and being ridiculous together.
Oh, yeah.
I tend to lean towards Sonic Boom is one that I generally say I liked filming a lot because I actually still lived in New York and had a normal everyday job, and they called me up and were like, Sega's sponsoring this Sonic video. We want to use the budget to fly you out to be Eggman again. And I'm like, yes, please get me away from my mundane life. So,
mood of the day.
Eggman, to be honest. The Sonic musical movie trailer was really fun to do as well.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Awesome.
What was your favorite musical that they created, buddy?
Oh, I'm going to say probably the most, if you ask any of the fans, the most common one, which is just, I love the Five Nights at Freddy's ones.
Okay.
Yeah. But
Couldn't have guessed.
And if there wasn't a big blur behind me, you'd see a ton of posters for Five Nights at Freddy's. So.
He also has a Spring Trap suit.
Yeah, I made a full suit and everything. It's not the best.
Oh, I bet it's great.
No, just no. No.
My favorite musicals that you guys created was obviously Resident Enos, because of the funny stuff that he's doing. It's like, wear a big hat, drink from this jar. I'm just it's so random. I love it.
Yeah.
Five Nights at Freddy's, and then the Senpai Noticed Me. I crack up every time Miss Bird just sings and Senpai Notices Me. Especially the making of Senpai Noticed Me, the singing part.
Yeah.
So yeah, that would be my favorite.
Yeah, all good projects.
And very successful ones.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm like, why did nobody mention the K rule
Nobody
way?
nobody power.
Samus the Spaceman Cowboy.
Oh, I like Samus the Spaceman Cowboy.
You
I
do.
do too.
Yeah.
We all like them. Most of these we have some level of love for because they're like our babies. So even if they're ones that we didn't work as hard on or didn't like enjoy making or something, it doesn't change that we enjoyed having that musical done and in the collection.
Mhm.
Understandable. Yeah. Our next question is, how much of your time in general do you spend doing this? Like the whole musicals, everything.
Okay, so percentage wise of our time, it depends day to day. Like in October, we took a week off for like the first time like a bazillion years. But I think since the channel, it's the first time every person on the channel just left for a week and went, we're not working this week. And then we got there, we filmed a scene for Luigi's Mansion. So we did end up working still. But so like last month, we actually had a vacation, which was really cool. On like an average day, I would say that, we do anywhere from like a 6-hour workday to like a 10-hour workday. It kind of fluctuates, yeah. Especially,
I was gonna say it depends generally on how close we are to finishing the musical.
Mhm.
I feel like it's usually like a 6 to 8 at the beginning because it's mostly just AJ working on music and Gwen doing costumes, and I'm focusing on like the weekly content behind the scenes stuff.
Mhm.
But then once we get closer to the musical's release, they become like 10-hour days.
yeah, those marathon
sometimes
binge
12-hour
sessions.
days. Yeah. But yeah, October was busier for us, even though we did have a vacation. We were still finishing up Luigi's Mansion. We did our, monthly Halloween series, The Shovel Werewolf. So
Yeah.
there was a lot of stuff still going on.
I'm sure there was an 18-hour day in there someplace. I
Yes.
don't remember if it was before vacation.
You did 3 all-nighters right before vacation?
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, there were some really long days right before we left trying to get it all out of the way. But
And I feel like that's what tends to happen is like the day before a deadline, somebody pulls an all-nighter.
Just go right to the last person. It's like, you. Yeah, because I feel like it also depends on the musical that you're working with and how much, like, the casting, the time that's being wisely spending on scene by scene by scene, and and also it's like you said, the costume parts, which I gotta say, costumes really spot on. I gotta say, so I give you credit for that, Miss Gwen.
Amazing.
And and just like and also the music, which I have seen from like I think one of what was it called? It was it was like in the courtroom musical you guys did.
That's right.
Yeah.
That one. Like you show like the behind the scenes of the music, how it's being made, and then just like takes time and developing and by scene, and how it will align with that. Because I've during high school I did 4 years of TV media, so I done like some like editing stuff, like just like like down from the ABCs, all that kind of stuff, and like doing like, all that stuff, shortening it out and all that, making sure it's like the same thing. And every time that I look at your timeline, I see that like there's some things that are like above where it's like hovering where like someone's speaking on another line while someone else is still speaking, or like someone speaking in music. Yeah, like I see that all the time. I'm like, oh, okay, all right, okay. Now I'm seeing what they're doing.
Yeah, we make a lot of use of that non-linear part of non-linear editing. There's an awful lot of jumping tracks and layering things on top of each other. It becomes quite a mess. But
I agree because when during when I was still in high school, my two friends and I were sitting at our teacher's desk because we were his favorites, because we always get things done and over with and get done. Yeah. We actually did because my friend did baseball, and they would film the entire baseball game and all that, the scoring, home runs, catches from their teams, and we had to edit every shot that either the player hits a home run, catches the ball, all that. It took so long, and he said we could spend the whole year just doing that, and we're like, I feel honored to do it, and it made our day.
Oh,
that's awesome.
Yeah.
So the next question is, what are some of the future musicals that you have planned to do, if you're able to tell us? I mean,
sure. We can tell you what we're working on right now.
It's true. We are currently working on a Little Misfortune musical, which will hopefully be out this month. We know how much people loved Franbo, so like we had our eye on Little Misfortune as it was being made, and then like when it got released, we pretty immediately played it.
Yeah, I mean the developer for Franbo, Kill Monday Games, had announced they were going to do a sequel to Franbo. So we were kind of waiting to see what happened with that. And then they said, oh, but before that, we have this other game about this other little girl named Misfortune. And we went, oh, that's kind of cute. Like, let's keep an eye on that one, too. So, and it turns out, and we're still waiting on Franbo, too. So,
yeah. But, like, Little Misfortune, what I think it does really well is it has 3 really, really awesome characters that I can't wait to bring into our musical and see what happens to them.
That's true. And then we're working on another one, actually, for next month that you're already...
You're talking about the musical, right?
Yeah. Oh, actually, I was going to say, we do have another episode.
Okay, another project. Else. Yeah, I mean, we're also working on, aside from musicals, we're doing a Christmas episode of The Shovel Werewolf, as we do every year. Mm-hmm. So he'll be back once more. And
special challenges involved with it?
I guess we can reveal what he's going to be playing. I don't know if you've been following the season. He's been playing, bad peripherals this season, like the Power Glove, Rob the Robot. So yes. So for the episode, he's gonna tackle the worst of all the worst, and he's gonna play the Virtual Boy,
which we're pretty excited about.
We're pretty excited about that.
Yeah.
And then of course we're also working on a sequel to our Granny musical.
Ooh.
For Christmas.
I'm excited for that.
On the wig again.
Yeah, get to shave your legs again. It's gonna be great. You just shave all sorts of
shave like everything again. Yeah.
Yes, people find out.
Probably not. It's broken.
Oh, well, we have a real chainsaw now, so it's true. No more prop chainsaws, only real things.
And I do feel like the one we get asked about the most as to whether or not we're going to do it is whether we're doing a sequel to Web of Lies, which we intend to do at some point, though that's not on a schedule yet. So
yeah, I think I've told people to expect something around next summer because it seems like the way we treat FNAF at this point is a little like Game of Thrones, where it's like they get like one new part of the story every year, and then you have to wait an entire year to find out what happens. And now we're getting more cool about when we look in peril and go, well, next year you'll find out what happens to them.
Hey. Box. That's fine.
We're hoping to wrap up the
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
So that's, I think, what we're working on. No Resident Enos 3, sorry. That requires some other people to agree to come do it, and other people haven't talked to me in like a year now, so.
Aww. Poor other people.
Other
they
people
must be so busy.
Are busy making really cool stuff without us.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Next question is, what was the funniest moment while filming a musical?
There's a lot of funny moments. I don't know if you can pick just one. Maybe.
Yeah, I don't know.
See, the problem with this question really is we have a very large amount of fun on just about every project. We're really lucky in that we love what we're doing. We like hanging out with each other. We love hanging out with our co-stars that like we bring in. There's really very little of this process that we don't enjoy other than like the hours that sometimes you have to slog through to get to the super fun part. But really, I don't think any of us would be doing anything else at the moment. So funniest.
I'm trying to come up with just a funny thing that like stands out that I like tell people.
Right. Or I can just word this out. What was your favorite like blooper that you've done in your videos that you like really enjoyed?
I really enjoyed watching these guys just ad-lib lines for Scapelli at the end of our Super Mario.
What do we think, Scapelli?
Scapelli. I know. I noticed that when you guys.
What they said made it into the bloopers. Like,
it got excessive at some point.
Kept going on, and I was dying on the other side of the camera. Like, just could not stop laughing.
Okay, but the Mario bloopers are good because I also have a favorite blooper I think from them too. It's when I'm Wario and the mustache just pops off in the middle of me speaking, and I just scream like bloody murder about it, where it's just like. Ah! For some reason, that always makes me laugh too, because it seems like he screams because his nose falls off. It That one I laugh at every time.
Oh my god.
I was gonna say we laugh every time at the one where Eggman farts in the Sonic
It's true.
bloopers.
Yeah, he spins the way he's like and then he's like,
Ah.
yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
that's
because
you're good. Keep going.
Yep. Because I pay attention to the try not to laugh challenge videos that you guys did. Definitely the one where you and Nate were doing like the spaghetti and then just like hopping. He's just hopping back into on the camera. Just like,
It's one of our favorites. Spaghetti.
And then the other one I liked was the frozen hot dog one, AJ, that you did where you're like, it's so cold. It's so cold.
It's so gross. That hot dog is not.
Oh god.
Not okay.
But seriously, you guys just crack us up every single time. And it's really enjoyable to watch and be laughing at, especially when you're like having those like depressive days when you're just like stressed out with everything that's been going around in your life that you're just like, I'm just gonna go to random counters.
Yeah, just
Watch them.
Well, thank you. It's really nice of you to say. We're really glad because that is the goal of the channel, I think, is to make people happy. So I'm glad it's working.
Yeah.
Oh, it's been working since I first seen you guys on on your channel. Like I've just been watching, and I'm just like, all right. Ooh, Final Fantasy Freddy's. Ooh, Zelda. I know this.
Keep on going.
Going and then.
Oh man.
Good. Awesome. There's always going to be more. Well, hopefully there's always going to be more.
We intend for there to be more.
Yes, we have no plans to ever stop making them right now. So
That's good. And I wish there was a future Resident Anus. I wish there was.
I do too. So I don't know. We'll see. We have so many story ideas for our Resident Enos, like not just a 3, but a 4 or 5 or 6. Like there was a whole pitch session we did actually when we were on Makers Network with Disney, where they were looking for new Disney XD content. So Peter and I actually have an entire notebook of basically episode pitches, and we were pitching to them a 10 or 12 episode season of more Resident Enos. So there's that many at least that we've talked about and kind of charted a course through that haven't happened. And now I would find it a lot less likely that we'd ever do it. But if we could, we might do it with like animation instead, make it more like a cartoon series, where
that would be cool.
A lot easier to set those out. Yeah, but not need Mark to commit to doing 10 episodes that are like, long and like things like that. Like, he was already hesitant to do a second one because he's like, I'll do a second one, but it was like he wasn't like on board to keep doing them.
Right.
So, but
Which
only
is
the voice actor,
understandable.
we might be able to get him to come back and consistently play the character if he just was going to record the voice for it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, because Mark's amazing. You know, he does funny stuff around things, especially with his legs. Because when I saw the blooper video for the second one where he was walking, where his feet was on backwards, I was like, yeah.
Crazy. Yeah, I don't want to do any more Resident Enos without him. So it's kind of like, unless we have both of them back, I feel like the show is on just a postponement right now.
Yeah.
Right.
Makes sense.
Makes sense.
So we only have 3 more questions for you guys, and then we'll let you go back to making your awesome content.
Sure.
Sounds good.
Before we ask that question, I want to ask if you have any questions to any of us at all before we continue on. That's where
what would you do to Scapelli? I need to pitch me what you think should be done with Scapelli.
I feel like the one where you're going spaghetti should be like your ringtone. So like anyone, like if Nate were to call you, they'd be like spaghetti. I
like it just repeats endlessly until I
what do you want?
Uses a ringtone.
Yeah, true.
Like our phones are always on vibrate.
Yeah.
I don't think we call each other. I can't remember the last time I called either of them. We just like text random words to each other and show up.
Yeah.
Just text me.
That would be funny though.
Yeah.
What about you, Springtrap?
I'm not 100% sure.
You never thought about what you would do to Scapelli?
No, not.
To
To be honest, I can't. My brain. I'm sorry.
Actually, I have another.
Okay.
I feel like This one should be like the origin of spaghetti. Like you guys should make like an origin story of spaghetti when it was like first like made and what it was like first developed.
So Mario and Scapelli have like a rivalry, like the origin story of what happened between them that makes them hate each other.
That would be fun.
Mario Brothers movie.
But they already have like a rivalry going even in that. He like knows Scapelli already.
True.
I assume it's because he just beats into like all the.
I would assume it would
jobs.
take place in like college.
Yes.
Like-
I feel like it would be like take place
Yeah.
like in college. Like they started like hanging out more in college, and then as soon as like it's like now like they're out of college, like it's like they're all like rivalries now, and it's just like
Yeah.
I hate you, spaghetti, and it's like spaghetti.
I feel like Scapelli was supposed to be Wario. I feel like they just changed his name from like the Wario Brothers Plumbing Service to like the Scapelli Plumbing Service.
I don't like more into what the Mario Brothers
probably
movie
not.
did.
Probably not.
Oh no. Yeah.
Well, we have 3 more questions, and then we'll be done. But
All
just,
right, let's go for it.
well, the first one is, would you ever like to come back to the show and answer more questions?
I mean, if time allows, it's it's fun for us to interview. To be honest, like we like being on these, we like getting a chance to connect with people that watch the show. So yeah, you let us know, and we'll see what we can coordinate. Holidays are a busier time for us generally, especially because we have Shovel Werewolf like bookending them. But
Mhm.
yeah.
Which is understandable. Yeah.
I have another question for you guys.
Oh,
Who else are you gonna put on your show?
Oh.
That was the next question I was gonna ask you guys. Was
Technically,
who
that's
do you,
who you want on the
who
show.
do you want to have on the
What on
show?
the show?
Oh, oh. So if we could pick anybody.
As many people as you want to pick.
As many one. Like you can even choose Matt, Pat,
Markiplier.
Markiplier, whoever you want.
Mm-hmm.
I do feel like Matt is always entertaining.
Yeah.
Yeah, but talk about busy.
Yeah.
Maybe
Maybe you can get the little Matt Pet.
like their
The
kid,
baby.
Ollie.
Their
Yeah.
son.
Really?
Best interview ever.
Like perfect.
Subtitles.
Yes.
And that's a theory. Okay.
I think I'd actually like to see more like game developers, which I know like the high profile ones can be pretty hard to grab. But I'm like, it would be really cool to see more interviews with like some of the indie developers. So somebody like Scott Cawthon or somebody like what's his name, Micah something who does Baldi.
Micah McGonagall.
Yes, thank you. Oh no, the guy that did Doki Doki. Man, what is his name? He even named his Dan Salvato.
Yeah.
People like that. Toby Fox. Who knows like how hard some of them are to like get a hold of. But some of those like game developers that made all these games that we love and we play and then we make musicals about and stuff. I would love to see more interviews with them and see what their thoughts are about, not just making games, but like their characters, their worlds, like things like that. So if you haven't
what made them basically what started the game, basically?
yeah, or even what their reaction is to seeing how fans like Let's Players playing it, or people make musicals about it, or like, whatever.
Yeah.
It's like it'd be really cool to hear from some of them about what their job is like and working online as like one small team or even just one person making these awesome games that people are so in love with and apparently have giant posters and costumes of and things like that. It'd be so cool. So yeah, I would love to see more like game developers and stuff getting interviewed by channels like yours. And maybe I'm just not looking in the right places, but if you got a connection and you get one of them on your show, I'd love to find out, more about what their lives are like.
Yeah.
That's just me.
You're not the only one with posters, by the way. Like we have a whole wall of them just over there. We just hid them better.
Yeah, this is the only
Right.
place I can record, so they're just blurred out.
Yeah,
I can't
this is
copyright
all
by
I
them.
record.
I like that we get posters and then hide them. Like that was the point of buying the poster, right? Was to put it somewhere where no one will see it, right?
They show up in our behind the scenes stuff.
They do.
So
Yeah.
that's my answer.
I have so many. I
yeah.
still have one rolled up.
One other thing. Would you like to join the interview that you guys want us to do?
Okay, so I think it'd be better not to, just because I don't want to interfere with the interview process and like potentially sway what their answers are. I'd rather watch it and then if it goes well and they're willing to come back, then it would be really cool to jump in on a follow-up. So I think that's what, but I wouldn't want to break the ice with somebody who's trying to like get an interview in for the first time with you guys and then go like, it's going to be a joint interview. I'd rather you guys get to ask them really focused questions before it becomes like a round table.
Okay, that makes
Makes
sense.
to us.
It doesn't make sense.
Yeah. That's just how I would feel if I was them. I would be like, if I'm going to get interviewed, I want to make sure that like I have a special like focus with you guys.
Yeah.
Not to say that if you guys invited Scott Cawthon or something into this like call, like, oh, we've got him right here. Hold on. I would feel, I'm leaving. But
Here's him. Here's this guy. Here's that.
I'm a lot more daunted about even agreeing to do an interview if I knew it was going to be like a whole bunch of people instead of,
Oh yeah.
But yeah, if they were down for it and wanted to do a follow-up and they didn't mind, us being in, like, that would be actually a lot of fun.
That'd be awesome.
Yeah, that's fine. Hey, it was worth the ask.
Yeah,
Sure.
definitely.
So the last question is going to be, do you guys have any questions for any future guests at all? Like any content creators, any game developers that you were talking about at all?
Yes. I like to know what people's actual favorite game of all time is. Like, I love video games, and I really like challenging people to narrow it down to one game. If they could basically say they have one favorite game, what the game is. And I think that says a lot about like people's backgrounds and their gaming experience and also their personal tastes. So I'm just a curious, nosy person. I like to know those things.
And that's why we made the show.
Hence why we made the show, because we like to interview people, get their perspective on what they do and what makes them think what made them want to do it in a way that it would show audiences around the world what they are creating and what they can bring to the table, and to show what creativity they can bring.
Sure. Yeah. Well, that's awesome. Thank you for doing that, because I like to know.
Yeah.
Because me and Springtrap, we are both TikTokers. We make creative content on there for like cosplay work and collab with many, many people. And then
So you're telling me if I go troll around TikTok a little bit, I can find this Springtrap suit that you're telling me is not very good, that I think is probably awesome?
Here it is.
Dude!
Yeah, we have to
draw and everything.
I like it.
Yeah, we have to go on TikTok, apparently. We don't have a TikTok, so we're going to have to just stalk people for a bit, I think.
Yeah. Hey.
You know what else? Yeah. We also have to get another call in like 5 minutes.
Oh, God. Okay.
God.
Too many things at once today, so sorry about that.
Oh, no, you're completely
No,
fine.
you're
That's
good.
the last
You're
question
good.
anyway. Well, thank you all for watching. Thank you all for being on the show. You have no idea how much we appreciate it.
Hey, it was a lot of fun. Thank you for having us today. I'm glad that we got a chance to do this.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
We're over the moon. We've been talking about it for a week or longer.
Literally, like as soon as he got in contact with you, I was like, "Are you that freaking nuts to get someone like that?"
Yes, I am.
Yeah. Well, again, thank you for inviting us, and you guys hosted a great show. I'm looking forward to finding out who you guys get next, and we'll watch you on TikTok. I want to see more of this content you guys have been working on.
Oh God,
Don't
no.
worry, and we will leave our TikToks in description of this video. So
And
guys
if
can
you're
check
one of
those
the
out.
2 people who are not following these lovely people of Random Encounters, there as well will also be in the description below. And their newest musical was Luigi's Mansion, and you can go watch that as well. I've seen it. It is great. It's hilarious, as per always. And
also make sure to punch that bell icon and click on that icon so you can get us their notifications from us. And also make sure to subscribe to Random Encounters and click that bell icon, because you do not want to miss something they're going to bring to the table. Make sure you do that. And as always, we will see all you boys and girls and all you binary pals in the next episode. Peace.
bye.